Okay. So recording at 6:20. So we'll go and start right now, and more people will pop into the room when they arrive. Okay, great. So welcome. So my name is Mr. Gus El-Mashni, and I am the AP Calculus AB teacher. In fact, we only have two sections, so I teach both of the sections. And it's been a pleasure to work with the children so far. Actually, I will have to say that the student morale is the highest I've seen in my 17 years at the school. I think it's understandable that we're finally in person. It's definitely been a long road to finally get the campus back open. So just the enthusiasm is just, you can just see it in the kids. Even they can't see all the faces of the mask, but you can totally just feel it. It's been absolutely awesome and impressive. So just wanted to kind of share that with all of you. So again, this is Mr. Gus El-Mashni and AP Calculus AB. That's my email address, and the Zoom link. The Zoom link's actually a little different. I don't know why it changes. That's the Zoom link I use for my students. So you guys clicked on a different one. I think they both work, but I'll share these slides as well. Actually, I could probably email them or probably put them in Schoology, whatever you guys prefer. I'll probably do both, so in case you guys want to check these slides out later. So for tonight, I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going to try to get through it quick. I actually have more slides about myself than all the other stuff, but just pictures. So, and pictures actually my two children, in case you like to see my children. We'll talk about what is calculus, my teaching methodology, resources, Schoology, the instruction policy syllabus, homework check-ins is a way I do a formative assessment. And then I'll try to leave a minute or two at the end for any questions if there happen to be any. So first off about me. So this is my 17th year at Sacred Heart Prep. Lots of history. I'm actually here in the classroom in Campbell. I was actually here when we had the old Siegel building. I remember I could see actually the Circus Club on the other side through, we had like just, really a lot of open space back then. About me, I love football. I'm a big football fan. You can see Andrew Luck in the background, and me with a few friends at the Giants. This is actually the 2014 World Series. Hopefully we'll get back this year. Those are my fantasy football trophies. I actually have one of those trophies right next to me. So I love football. I'm excited for Thursday. I'm not sure I'll be able to watch much because I do have two small kids. And I think my wife would probably change the locks if I don't help out dinner and bedtime routine. That's William right in front, and that's Madeline in the back. William will turn 5 this fall. Madeline will turn 2. They do keep me busy, very fun and challenging, both at the same time. And that's actually us coming back from the hospital. My daughter is actually a pandemic baby. She was born October 2019, and by the time she was ready to meet people, we couldn't because we were pretty much in lockdown. Fortunately, we had a chance to finally meet some family and relatives who were vaccinated, which is great. And that's my wife, Christine, right there. I looked scruffy. It was a long night, obviously. And this is me with my son, William. He was born in 2016. In fact, he was born a day before the presidential election. A couple of weeks early, I think he was eager to see who won that race. And that's us at the big game. And I've been making a tradition that every time Stanford hosts the big game against Cal, that I'll take my son to that. So that was in 2017. We did 2019. Hopefully we'll do 2021. I love the barbecue as well. Definitely picked up well, I've been barbecuing for a long time, but done more frequently in the pandemic. That's some tri-tip and chicken. So anyway, that's about me. Let's talk about calculus. I don't want to talk too much about myself. This is the textbook we have for the class. And what is calculus? So we're going to be covering two types. The fall semester will cover differential calculus, which deals with rates of change. And the second semester will cover integral calculus, which is dealing with net or total change. And the A part, as you know, does represent the fall semester. Well, maybe you don't know, but it represents the fall semester of college level calculus, or the fall quarter, if you want to think of it that way. So myself personally, I did UC San Diego as my undergrad. And so I remember the first quarter, that's what we did. We did differential calculus. The second quarter would be integral calculus. We are actually planning on finishing the course. Hopefully we don't get derailed. Last year, obviously, was a big mess. I won't get into all those details, but I had to constantly change gears. I hope we don't have to do that this year. So the plan is to actually get the course done by around the end of March and start doing AP review through the month of April. So we are going to be moving pretty quickly. And so far we're on target. Again, hopefully we don't get derailed. So my teaching methodology. So you see The Karate Kid, hopefully if you're a product of the 80s like I am. I love that movie. So why do I have the picture of Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita, or Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi? So I kind of like to think of this class, or I'm not saying I'm Mr. Miyagi, but I kind of like to think of this class as The Karate Kid, because in a way, your children have been learning a lot of skills, for the last 3 or 4 years in middle school and the first 2 or 3 years of high school. For example, they've been learning factoring. They've been learning a lot of geometry topics. They learn about trigonometry, domain and range of functions, how to graph functions, transformations. And sometimes they don't really understand, like, why are they doing all these things? Like, what is the big picture? So in the movie, The Karate Kid, in the first half, Pat Morita has Ralph Macchio like do all these menial tasks, like, scrubbing the floor, washing the car, and he's like painting the fence, wondering why is he doing all these things. And what Dan LaRusso doesn't realize, but realizes afterwards, that he's learning muscle memory, right? And that muscle memory helps him with all the different karate moves. And so everything kind of all comes together, when he finally goes to the All Valley Conference or championship and wins a tournament, right? And that's kind of the same thing in this class. Like, they're taking all these skills. So we have the summer assignment where I had to, assess, like, do you remember how to factor? Do you remember how to do all these different topics from the last 2 or 3 years, especially because we had such a long gap, right? Like some of your children had math in January and no math since then. And we had to do 4 weeks of pre-calculus, which is crazy, right? I would never teach it that way ever again, but that's what we did. And so that's my task. My task is to advance your children's knowledge and to show all these different things they've learned all come together, how they all coalesce, and then actually teach them differential calculus and teach them the applications of derivatives, and then likewise with integrals. So I love this course, my favorite course to teach, because again, it just brings so many topics all to the table, and just does such a great way of integrating and intertwining all those topics. So they kind of see why they spent all that time learning all these things. Sometimes they have to kind of go through the weeds before they see the forest, right? Now let me talk about resources, because that was kind of the next thing I want to go over. So I have my browser here, Schoology open. So Schoology is a great resource. That's where we keep everything. So the instructional policy syllabus are right there. And you can see I'm kind of an organization freak, so I have it broken down by units. Within each unit, I have broken down by week. So they really have everything they need for pretty much a whole semester. Lecture notes, worksheets. If they ever need to audit their notes, I have filled out lecture notes, solutions to worksheets. Previous exams from last year, I write new exams every school year, so they have all these resources here. And also, just so you know, I don't teach full-time. I teach 75%. So I did share this live document, and you guys can access it too if you have access to Schoology, that shows the days where I'm on and off campus. I'm on campus usually most days, but some days I only teach Tuesday, Thursday, so I'm off campus on those Mondays and Fridays. Just given the fact that I have 2 small children, I'd like to kind of be more present for my family. But the kids do know when I'm on and off campus, or at least they should know. And there'll be days where I'm off campus, but I'll still be available. So I'm still like making myself available on Zoom. And I do actually share my Google Calendar here with my students that shows like when we have class meetings, when we have office hours, whether it be in person or in Zoom. And if they can't make it, if they have to not feel well, or they're for one reason or another not on campus, but they still want to Zoom in, the Zoom link is right there. So, my hope is that this class is totally dialed in. Now I only have a minute left, so yikes, I'm talking way too much. Anyway, the syllabus you can locate in Schoology. The homework check-ins, just is a way I do formative assessment. Now, and actually, I don't feel bad if I do go a minute over, because it's not like you guys have to walk to another room. So maybe I'll just talk another minute or two. Homework check-ins is what we do. Actually, it's more like a checkout. We do it at the end of each class. So in lieu of actually having the kids turn in homework, I want to make sure they're really getting it. So what we do is I do assign problems. The whole problems themselves are not graded. It's actually, this is what's assessed. And so we talk about the problems. If they have any questions about it, we do a lesson on a new topic, which hopefully reinforces some of the stuff from the previous day. And then I give them these questions. A lot of times they're kind of like more thought-provoking, open-ended, like, Here you can see they have a graph and they have to explain like why the 2-7 does not exist as X approaches 1. So I'm really looking to see how they internalize the material, how they verbalize the stuff. Sometimes I'll just give them a problem like you're just telling me what the answer is, it's a numerical answer. And then on the back end, I actually get to see the responses. And actually, I should be hiding their names. So I do apologize. I didn't hide the names. So hide that column. But I could see the responses. And then this way, it's also helpful for me to see if they actually are getting it. And if they're not, then I can actually have a conversation with that student. Like, okay, you know, what is it that you didn't understand? Let's talk about it. I do give the students 4 free passes on the homework check-ins. Sometimes things come up. Maybe they're away for a sporting event, or maybe they have like a drama production, like it's a big opening night, and they're going to be here on campus till 10 o'clock at night. So I do give them 4 free passes if they so desire. And we do have 4 exams. Exams are usually spaced out every 3 or 4 weeks. And so these documents here, the instructional policy and the syllabus, show how these are all spaced out. So that Schoology instructional policy kind of went through it pretty quickly. Anyway, are there any questions you guys have? And I do apologize for taking a little too long to talk about those lines, but again, I know it's not like you guys have to walk to another room. So any questions that you guys have before we sign off and you guys attend another presentation? And feel free, you can unmute yourself if you have any questions at all. Well, thank you very much. And definitely, if you have any, if you ever want to meet with me, you know, we could do a Zoom call, phone, you know, talk on the phone, or if you want to meet in person, just let me know. I'm more than happy to ever meet with you guys. I don't know how we're going to do conferences this year. That's I don't know if that's still been decided. It's definitely above my pay grade. But hopefully we do have them in person. I do look forward to having those conversations face to face with some of you, hopefully all of you. But anyway, that's AP Calculus AB. So thank you very much for attending. And again, I've been just so happy with the morale. It's been just the best I've seen in my 17 years at this school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
And enjoy all the other presentations tonight.
Thanks, Gus.
You're welcome.